My journey into tech is that of a career changer. I did not do this before until around 2010. I got kind of curious about cybersecurity, and that's when it first started being kind of more of a household word, right? Which it wasn't previously, obviously. So I decided to take some classes at my local community college, which actually had like an award-winning program, and they were the very first community college that got like the NSA accreditation and Department of Defense accreditation and whatnot. So it was a really good program. And yeah, so I kind of fell in love with it. And while I was taking those classes, I also got involved with like the cyber club and started doing cyber competitions and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, the TLDR of it is that I discovered my inner geek and my passion. And, you know, I haven't looked back since then because it's just been amazing. In terms of, you know, how has leadership influenced my career? Yeah, I don't know so much leadership, right? It's been more like peers and just mentors and just seeing what other people are doing in the industry, especially women, right? So, so that's probably more relevant for me.
Awesome.
So one of the things that I'm very engaged in is my leadership role with the Women's Society of Cyber Jitsu, which is a diversity-centric nonprofit that is all about getting, well, more diversity in general, but kind of specifically women in the field of cybersecurity. And it's like everybody knows, the numbers are a little sad. They're getting better. I mean, the time I've been around, they've definitely improved, but we're still not there yet. So, so yeah, so being a part of Cyber Jitsu is definitely a key part of like who I am, and yeah, I feel it's all great because where we are in the US right now with stuff, but I still feel cautiously optimistic that we're moving forward and progressing, and you know, there's still companies that support DEI and that sort of thing, which is so essential, and I'm glad to see that. But yeah. The talk that I'm doing tomorrow is going to be a little bit of like what keeps me up at night. And I think, like, if I could tell anybody to pay attention to this, like a few things, I'm like, pay attention to the critical controls, right? The CIS critical controls. It used to be 20, now it's 18. I'm not quite sure what got lost or merged or whatever, but it's the low-hanging fruit is what is, that's what threat actors are using. They're using stolen credentials. That is rampant right now. Like, info stealers are a scourge. And so it's not like the next big APT, although those are also concerning, but just keeping your affairs in order, making sure that you're not letting, you know, sort of those easy fixes go by the wayside while you're worried about something a little bit, you know, probably less probable that's going to happen in your environment. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that events such as SheLeadsTech and that whole initiative through ISACA is so essential, right? Because, I mean, I could speak from being a woman in the industry. It's just so essential to have sort of a support network and just know other women who are doing the same thing. And again, I'll say 1,000 times, it's not just women. There's a lot of diverse populations that are not very well represented in the field of cybersecurity, but just having sort of like, we called it Cyber Jitsu, or Cyber Jitsu tribe, having some people, you know, who are like-minded and have the same interests and whatnot as you are, it's just huge. And I know this from when I first started out, because I I only knew men who were working in the field, and I didn't know any women. And I was just like kind of astonished when I found some women who did like to do this sort of thing. Because like all my friends, my non-cyber friends, were just like, "What are you doing again?" but yeah, so it's really just that sense of community that's so essential. That's what I would say.